Imagine this. You've been working hard at your job, working extra hours, receiving bonuses or even promotions, and over time your income starts growing. Now you're making more money than ever before, and it feels like you should be set, right? But then something strange happens. At the end of the month, your bank account doesn't look much different. You check your statements and you think to yourself, where did all my money go? You don't even remember making any extravagant purchases, but somehow your expenses have kept up with your income. And now that feeling of financial security you expected is nowhere to be found. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. In fact, more than half of high income earners are stuck in this exact cycle. But shouldn't making more money mean financial security? That's what we expect, right? Yet many people feel just as financially stretched after receiving a pay raise or a better paying job. Honestly, they feel just as stressed as they were on a lower income. But why? It's often because their expenses rise just as fast, sometimes even faster than their income. It's something that has affected so many individuals and may keep them in a cycle where they feel like they're doing well, but in reality, they're still facing financial challenges. But here's the key. This isn't just about how much money you make, it's about habits, expectations, and financial patterns that many people have but might not realize. So today, we're looking at 3 financial challenges that could make it difficult for people to save and build long-term wealth. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about how much you make, it's about how you manage it. And if you don't take control, you might find yourself earning more, yet still feeling like you're barely scraping by. It all starts with the first major challenge, one that tends to happen slowly without people even realizing it. Financial challenge number 1, lifestyle creep. Your income increases, and instead of saving that extra money, you upgrade your lifestyle. Maybe it's a nicer apartment, a newer car, or more vacations. So what's the problem here? Well, those upgrades become your new normal, and suddenly your higher income isn't making you feel any richer. This is what's known as lifestyle creep, and one of its biggest dangers is that it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like a reward. You work hard, you want to enjoy life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But without realizing it, those small upgrades become your new standard. That extra $500 a month you could have saved, well, now it's going to a car payment. The free hobbies you once enjoyed, now they've been replaced with premium memberships and more luxurious experiences. Now, this isn't about depriving yourself, it's about making sure your financial future doesn't suffer just because your income went up. Like even for my wife and I, we've experienced this same temptation to want to upgrade and reward ourselves as our income has been increasing over the last 5 years. Easily, we could have chosen to upgrade our apartment from something homely like this one to one that's more luxurious and in the city that we live nearby. We also could have chosen to upgrade our cars. Like I could totally ditch the same old car I've been driving since my college days delivering pizza. But one thing was more important to me than those upgrades, and it was my peace of mind. So instead of just raising my rent another $700 for a nicer apartment or signing up for a new $500 car payment, we now have more money left over that we could save into an emergency fund, use for building wealth, or to even spend on other things we enjoy like family vacations and travel. Now it's pretty clear that the more you earn, the more you might feel the urge to spend. It's a pattern that could continue unless you actively work against it. So here's how you can help manage the lifestyle creep that may rob you of your financial future. First, consider incorporating a budgeting plan into your life. And luckily for you, I already reviewed the most popular budgeting plans in a previous video. So if you're interested in learning which budgeting plan might work for you, click on the linked video above and make sure that you understand which of your expenses are your needs, wants, and how much you are looking to possibly save when considering your budget. Secondly, look into incorporating a 6-month rule for yourself. Now, this might seem intense, but it's very effective. Before making any big purchase, like a new car or a large upgrade, wait 6 months. If you still want it and can afford it in 6 months, go for it. But in many cases, you might find it wasn't as essential as it initially seemed. Third, think about automating your savings. Having a portion of your paycheck automatically transferred to your savings before you could even see it could be a useful way to help build wealth over time. I personally did this a long time ago, and it's the reason why we now have a full emergency fund, and my wife and I are now using the same method to build up a down payment on our future home. These small actions might help prevent your spending from inflating with your income. So now you can work towards becoming financially secure rather than just upgrading your lifestyle. Financial challenge number 2, hidden convenience costs. Think about all the little conveniences you've added to your life. For instance, food delivery, streaming services, premium memberships, and ride sharing instead of using public transportation. Individually, these conveniences seem harmless, but when you add them all up, they can cost way more than you expect. A recent study found that the average American spends over $924 a year just on subscriptions. That's money that could have gone towards saving or other long-term financial goals. And it's not just subscriptions. Think about takeout, grabbing food on the way home instead of cooking. It feels small, but if you're spending $15 per meal 5 times a week, that's nearly $4,000 a year. And ride sharing is just another one. A $10 ride might seem harmless at the time, but over a month, that could be hundreds of dollars. Money that could have been used to build real financial security. So let me be clear, I'm not saying you should never enjoy little conveniences. Instead, just be conscious of how often you're using them and how much money you're spending. You may be surprised at how much of these fees or subscriptions might be draining your budget without you even noticing. The hard truth is that convenience does come with a cost, and when you're earning more, it might be tempting to outsource pretty much everything. That's why I'm going to give you some ways to possibly help manage these costs. Audit your subscriptions. Reviewing your credit card statements and canceling anything you don't use regularly may free up unexpected cash. You could also use a cost per use system. If you pay $20 per month for a service and you only use it twice, that is $10 per use. And some people find this really helpful to determine if a subscription is truly valuable or not. Now, the goal here isn't to eliminate all your conveniences, but rather it's to be mindful of how frequently you're paying for them and to be more intentional about where your money goes. Simple things like cooking more meals at home, using public transit, and prioritizing free entertainment might help you save more per year. Financial challenge number 3, inflation. For many people, financial progress isn't just about spending habits, it's also about how the value of money changes over time. Even if you're earning more, external factors might be making it harder to actually feel ahead. And one of the biggest challenges to financial stability is something that affects everyone, regardless of income level: inflation. Prices for housing, food, healthcare, and everyday essentials have risen, but not everyone adjusts their spending habits accordingly. And it's not just the price of everyday goods. Think about major life expenses like college tuition, medical costs, and housing. These aren't increasing by just a little 2 or 3% a year, they're often rising much faster. In fact, a recent financial report shows that 65% of middle-income Americans felt that their income had fallen behind the cost of living. So if your income doesn't keep up with these rising costs, your purchasing power is actually shrinking. That's why some high earners still feel financially stuck despite making more money than ever. This is why having a financial game plan isn't just about increasing income, it's about making sure the money you earn keeps up with your goals over time. Even if you're getting a 3% raise every year, inflation might be rising at 5 to 7% a year. And that means your purchasing power could actually be decreasing even with a raise. If you want a deeper dive on how your purchasing power fluctuates, Primerica has created the Household Budget Index that I'll link down below. So here are a few ideas that could help you manage inflation. You could lock in fixed costs. If you rent, signing a longer lease could help you avoid rent hikes. And if you own a home, a fixed rate mortgage might protect you from rising interest rates. Another idea you can consider is picking up a side gig to possibly supplement your income and help offset inflation. And my final tip is to think about how to spend smarter. Using bulk buying, cashback, and rewards programs might help offset the rising cost of inflation. Ultimately, making more money does not guarantee financial success. It's about how you use it. Focus on better financial decisions, so if you do happen to get that promotion, bonus, or side gig, it'll be your smart financial habits that could help you work towards achieving financial success. Remember to focus on avoiding lifestyle creep by taking a closer look at where your money is actually going. Is it flowing towards long-term security or just keeping you in the cycle? Also, consider looking for ways you could be cutting hidden convenience costs and protecting yourself from inflation. If this video helped you see money differently, make sure to check out our other videos on smart budgeting and financial habits. And remember, income alone won't make you wealthy, but the right habits could get you there.